Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, our praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Makakodash, Brakatham. Double honor shall go to apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who continue to teach it to rule well. Shalom to the Akims of Great Millstone and like-minded camps and individuals who continue to teach as one body, who continue to be out on the highways and byways, risking their lives for the greater good. And also shalom to the sincere Aquats. And also shalom to the true believers of this gospel who continue to learn in silence as the scriptures have commanded for you to do so. This is Azariah Gabar, representing the King is Coming channel, back at it with another lesson for edification purposes. Okay, so I got this video queued up, Lord willing, and I like to play. So this brother, J.R. Wisdom, that's what he goes by. He's based out of Atlanta, and to me, I think he professes himself to be the cheek clapping professor, all right? Because the majority of his videos is about those topics, cheek clapping, husbands being caught cheating, wives being caught cheating, things of the sort. And he has a very strong fan base, all right? So if you want to look at his material, you can subscribe to J.R. Wisdom, all right? So this video lesson, the title is going to be She Has Done No Wickedness, because I did a video a while back and it was titled The Paternity Discretion. All right, because you got more and more of these instances where the men, the husbands, the boyfriends, whatever you want to call them, they're catching their wives out there as far as finding out through DNA testing that they're not the father of their children, and they're raising up other men's seeds. All right, but this video here that I'm gonna show you guys, well, this dude in Jamaica took it one step further. He actually unalived his wife. Okay, so it's getting to that point now. For you Aquats, you sisters, you women, stop BSing around with these men, with the okie doke, because the rage is coming out more and more. You heard? So I'm gonna play this full video in its entirety, and then pull up some precepts, some scripts, and close it out. Let's do it.
So, fellas, you and wifey for life, you've been going strong for about 15 years. Everything's going good. She does everything you want. You guys have a good time. You guys got 6 kids. Everything's great. Kids, you got 3 boys, 3 girls, just the way you planned it. Wifey cooks for you. You taking care of things, all this other stuff. Then you've been noticing over the years that family members, they start making little sly jokes about your youngest, and then you start questioning, like, hey, they don't come out and say it, and you feel like people are just laughing behind your back. Why is everybody laughing behind my back? Is everything a joke? What's really going on here? So my youngest daughter doesn't look like me? That's the milkman's kid? Can't be. So you start looking at the other kids, and one by one, you start figuring out, damn, these kids really don't look like me. And something is afoot. So you decide to get a DNA test on the youngest. Turns out it's some bullshit. The youngest ain't yours. So you say, before you confront your old lady, you say, let me test the rest of them. So you go and get them all tested out. Your oldest being 14, right? You get them all tested. None of the kids are yours. Heart's beating. You are in a fit of rage. You don't know what to do at this point. You want to lose it. You want to go on a deleting spree. At this point. How could this woman do this to you after you've been taking care of her and these 6 kids? All this time, these 6 kids aren't yours? So, guys, this is the story of this gentleman here in Jamaica that I'm about to get into, and this is a doozy. Many of you may have heard this story. This story is actually a few years old, quite a few years old, where this guy down in Jamaica found out that all 6 of his kids with his wife weren't his.
Bumbleclot!
The name of Karen Rainford, and they're in St. Andrew part of Jamaica. I'm not too familiar with Jamaica and its parishes. I've only been once. So all my brethren down there in the islands, y'all can correct me in the comments. But Buddy eventually was so distraught he couldn't even work. He couldn't work as often as he wanted to, and he ends up moving out. But before he moved out, he actually did confront her about it. And she told him the truth, because at this point, she really didn't have any respect for him because, hey, the whole thing is up. He already knows he has the DNA results to prove it. So what are we doing here? So she's like, whatever. But you're still going to pay child support for these kids. How you just going to have these kids and after 15 years together and the oldest being 14, you think you're just going to skate on your kids? These are still your responsibilities. No matter how many men have been dumping loads in my poom poom. You feel me?
Carousel. That's what you call that. Bumbleclot.
Yeah.
I'm laughing like Eddie Murphy.
Everything is not crisp. I'm fucking it all up, guys. But
yeah, you're the jacket up man.
Shit. So he decides to leave the home and is like, I'm not putting up with this shit and I'm not taking care of these kids. So this demon woman,
that's right,
this
demon
serpent, decides to go up to his job, try to get him on child support. Try to get the brother on child support. Try to get my man to lose his job. Saying that he needs to be put on child support and y'all need to be taking his wages and all this stuff. I don't know how child support works in Jamaica. I've heard when I was down there that it's really not enforced too much from my understanding. You guys, I know I have a lot of my viewers from Jamaica. Shout out to my people in the yard. But this apparently set good buddy off.
It gunshot no fire tonight. It fire the other day.
your blood fire.
ChatGPT, what's a future?
Bumbleclot. Shut your ass up.
With her coming up to the job saying he's a deadbeat and all this stuff like that. So he kept telling people, yo, I'm going to take this woman out. She is trying to bring on an early deletion. She's trying to bring on an early deletion. So the brother had dreadlocks. He cut his dreadlocks off. And he started telling people, I'm going to take this lady out. Because you got to imagine how that can affect somebody. How that can destroy a man. And I've covered several stories that you guys may have known. You guys can stick around to the end. And I've probably been having them pop up on the screen on this video. But my man said, yo, I'm about to done her. How y'all say it? I'm about to done ya. I'm about to done her.
You want done she?
Or dead her. Hold on. My man was like, yo, this is it. I guess she comes around talking that same stuff.
Tell him for mining child, him supposed to mine him blood clot child. Because him a live, him claim for say him a live life. Him supposed to mind the child, nothing wrong.
And my man
Yeah, right, you bumbleclot
he
woman.
did some ill stuff, man, that you see a lot of people on TV, some grotesque stuff that he did to the wifey. He removed her top. And I'll just put it like that. He removed her top from her torso. One thing in the States, we say you don't mess with no Jamaican man. You don't mess with a Jamaican woman either.
Oh no,
You
not
don't
them
play around.
Benjamites.
Just the
Oh
voice, I
no.
love the Jamaican accent. I love patois. I love how it sounds. Everything just sounds so smooth. But when you're angry and mad, it sounds like super aggressive. And my man already warned her, and I guess he followed through. I don't know if he had his machete or what y'all call them down in Jamaica, down in the yard, what y'all call machetes or machetes. But Buddy did that. These are kids that you've developed an attachment to. These are kids that you've raised. And then for somebody to snatch your heart and know that, and you knowing that these kids aren't yours, and she was sitting on another man's genitals.
Cock carousel. That's what you call that. Cock carousel.
Sheesh, that's a lot. That's enough for any man. Hey, man, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But I really can't find too much more information. You guys probably heard about this, but it hit the web, and this is always some stuff coming up, and you ladies just be. And I bet the family members probably already knew, because she's probably confiding in someone, and the dude knows. And man, you got to be more careful, man. Ladies, if you feel like you don't want to have kids with the man and you're going to try to put a man on child support, especially when you know the kids, there's already proof, buddy already got a DNA test, just keep it going. Because you don't know a man, just imagine, but you won't put yourself in his position, man. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this story. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on Linktree to book a one-on-one.
You hear that? All right. For you aquats, you woman, this better serve as a dire warning. Stop playing silly ass games with the men, especially when it comes to paternity matters. Okay? And like he mentioned about the Benjamites, all right? Listen, in the book of Judges, read it for yourself, how these Benjamites really go down. I'm going to just, give a brief overview of what happened in the book of Judges when the Benjamites raped and killed a concubine for a Levite that was passing through town. So guess what? He ran to the other camps and told them. So then they inquired it to the Lord, and the Lord told them to exile Benjamin from the rest of the 11 tribes. But guess what? It was not easy. It was easier said than done. The Benjamites fought. They buckle, okay? To the fullest. They didn't go down easily or quietly, but finally they were exiled out of the camps, from the rest of the camps. But then later on, the Lord commanded them to be brought back. You understand? Listen, I'm from the lineage of Benjamin myself, okay? So the bottom line is that I always say this, that when the child comes out of the woman pum, you best believe mandatory DNA testing. Yeah? Because listen, all jokes aside, that's how it should be. But listen, they're not going to do that. Esau is not going to do that. Why? Simply because then there'll be no need for family court, for the judges, the law enforcement, the bailiffs in the courts, attorneys. It wouldn't be any need for any of those individuals. All right? So, of course, they're not going to do the right thing and make it a law where mandatory DNA testing comes about. As soon as that baby pop out the pum, whether the parents ask for it or not. Okay? And listen, let me tell you something. I have 2 daughters myself. I have my biological and I have a stepdaughter. Now, the stepdaughter, I pretty much raise her as my own. Okay? And, even though the mother and I are no longer, dealing for at least over 2 decades now, but that stepdaughter, she still respects me as a father figure, despite the dastardly deeds that her mother had conducted. All right? So there you go. It's high time that mandatory DNA testing be put in place. But guess what? Once that kingdom is ushered in, the kingdom of Jacob, you best believe it will be no more, absolutely no more of the nonsense from these women. Why? Because they're going to be 100%. They're going to be 100% right. Okay? It's going to be no more of these shenanigans when that time come. Period. So let's go to some scriptures and I'll close it out. So we got Book of Proverbs 30 and 20, and it reads, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. And isn't that what that unalived female did? All right? But, you know what, Slakia, let me correct myself. She did, fessed up to her wickedness. She did that. Yes, she did. But still, she was wicked because she was trying to go after that man's job. I'm sure that was his only source of income, to try to get him fired and calling him a deadbeat dad. Are you kidding me? Now pick sense out of nonsense. Why would you want to do that? If you want to get child support, why would you want to go up to a man's job to get him fired and now he has no money to forward to you any child support? Pick sense out of nonsense, you dummies. Okay? Just being stupid and wicked. All right? So we go to the book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 39:28, and it reads, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Woo! Beautiful. So that was the end result for her. The Lord put that spirit of vengeance in that man, that rage. All right? To decapitate her behind for her wickedness. Why? To appease or to please him. All right? To appease the wrath of him that made them. Beautiful. So the bottom line is, when you wicked women conduct these wicked shenanigans, you are basically signing your death warrant. You're signing it. Period. And then we go to the book of Proverbs 6:34, and it reads, for jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance. Woo! And then verse 35, he will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. All right? So for you Akims out there, let this be a lesson. Well, and of course, Aquats as well. But for the Akims, I say, when you knock up a woman and she's having a child, as soon as that child come out, ho pum pum, you automatically request for a DNA test. Do not sign that birth certificate. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to sign the birth certificate. That's my baby. That's my child. Nope. You put her ass to the test. And if she put up any kind of resistance, well, then you should know that she's guilty of something. All right? Because if she has no skeletons in the closet, she'll do it with no problem. All right? And for you aquads, for you women, again, let this be a lesson for you guys as well. All right? Stop the BS nonsense. These men are not playing anymore. You will be unalived. You will be deleted. And that will come from Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Kodash. You heard? So that's going to conclude and wrap up this lesson for today. Hopefully, edification has been brought forth as a result. All right? So with that being said, all praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Bahashab, Yahweh Shai, Bahashab, Bakakodash, Brakatam, Kwam, Yasharal, Arise, Israel. And as always, Lord willing, on to the next video. Shalom.